begin in the name of Almighty, who is most gracious, most merciful. This is a universal greeting. We begin. There's a supreme power in this universe, which nobody can deny under even scientific scrutiny as well. Today is our introductory presentation for a very intriguing journey that I would invite everybody to come join, and we can embark on this journey together. This journey is where we all will participate actively and will all benefit and reap the rewards together. Now, SCONA is an organization which identifies as a spiritual circle of North America, has done numerous work in the last several years in terms of social welfare, as well as the spiritual aspect of it, which is a huge problem right now in the world. There's a spiritual vacuum which we do not have an accurate information in terms of how we can apply that in our daily lives and improve our lives. And we continue to hear many different topics and different, presenters in the world which briefly do discuss spirituality, but do not take us on the journey where we can apply every day in our lives, which can impact our daily schedule that we go through and the routines that we go through and how it could benefit us. And that's what I like to discuss, and together we will do this. And also, I would invite you to come, regardless of any religion that you have, whether you're atheist, agnostic, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, or you do not ascribe to any religion whatsoever, or you're a scientist. So whatever background that you have, you're most welcome to come and participate on this journey that we are about to embark on. And through this journey, you will see that we will explore together this universe and not leave any stone unturned to find out what is actually spirituality and what are its benefits and how can we achieve that, how can we procure this spirituality, and how can it benefit us in our lives. So I hope you will be patient and also will participate actively. And I would definitely would like to hear from you in terms of feedback as to what we can do to improve our presentation, and also how would you like to participate. This is an open forum for discussion, and we definitely appreciate all of you who can participate in it. Now, spirituality is a very broad term which is used very widely in a whole host of categories and what have you. But in our future presentations, we will define in terms of what is spirituality and what does spirituality mean to human beings. Does spirituality also applies to animal kingdom? Does it apply to plantation and vegetation, other life other than human beings? We as a Homo sapiens, we have certain needs and requirements to survive on this earth. And I'm quite certain that you are well aware of that we do have some basic needs that we do require. For example, that we have to eat every day, we have to sleep every day, and then we also have to work every day for our survival, which animal kingdom doesn't have to do all of that, but some of it they have to do that. They have to get up in the morning as we do. They have to search for food and they have to find their food. And that is their task for life. And then obviously there's a reproductive aspect of in their life as well. So, but humans are different from animals. And this is the heart of where spirituality comes in. Because spirituality actually differentiates us from animals. And this is a huge, big difference. And yet it differentiates us from animals, but yet we know very little about it. How is it that we go to school every day starting from kindergarten, and we go and graduate from universities, we become lawyers, engineers, doctors, scientists, and so forth, but yet We know very little about spirituality. And yet every human being possesses soul in their bodies. And we cannot deny that. Scientific world cannot deny that. But also, we all understand that soon this life, so far what we know of this life, will have an end to it. Every living creature, whether it's a plant, it's an animal, or human being, they have an end to it. And we know every day that we see human beings all around us do die, and then we go through funeral process and what have you, and whatever funeral process we all go through, we do it. And we go and we tend those funerals, whichever shape or form we do, and whatever ceremonies we perform, but we all do it. So we recognize, acknowledge that there's an end to this human life. And now we have to understand and come back to a fundamental question. What is the purpose of life? We as a human being, why are we here on earth? And who sent us on the earth? So we need to explore those answers. And we also will definitely go through many religious scriptures if we have to. We will go through many scientific findings and literature if we have to, and not leave any stone unturned to find out answers to these questions. And so we all should have an open mind when we listen, and at the same time when we do participate, we also must have an open mind as to what we're saying and where is our source and how can we definitely prove our point or our point we can get across. So I hope we would all be able to do that together. Now, just to give you a hint of and a few open the door to what spirituality is tonight. In terms of, we all know that as a human being, we have 5 faculties. That is, we have eyes, we have nose, we have tongue, and we have ears. So we have all these 5 faculties that we are well aware of, and we use them every day. Now, can you imagine if somebody doesn't have eyesight, they're blind, and how that hinders their life? And if somebody is not only blind, but they're deaf, how does that hinder their life? And how can we compare and also see that those people who are deprived of these faculties, how does it impact their life? It definitely makes it far more difficult. In the same manner, we also have inner 5 faculties. Just like we have a heart, we also have an invisible heart inside our body as well, which deals with, and also we have these eyes that we see, materialism. We also have eyes inside. Those are eyes of the heart that do see invisible. So the invisible aspect of that heart deals with spirituality. That's what we call spirituality. And that's just part of it. That's just a basic aspect of spirituality. And we know there are many other things that when we go in great details in terms of what spirituality is, hopefully in our next presentation, you will discover this is unexplored world by the large aspect of humanity that is yet going through many problems today, every day. You have loved ones, you have your children, you have your kids, you have your wife, whoever you have, your loved ones, your parents, old or young, whoever you are, regardless of the religion, we all experience pain, we all experience joy, we all experience happiness. Those are the aspects of our lives. And we also do not understand when we do experience these things, what is the origin of that? What does the soul have to do with our body, which is trapped in our body? And what role does it play in our everyday life? And yet, for example, I give you an illustration that we work, 7 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, and endless hours, sometimes 12 hours, 18 hours a day. There comes a time when we become very tired and stressful. And we definitely ask our employer that we need some kind of vacation and go for recreational leave. And we do that. We all do that. We have done that once in our lifetimes. Now, when we ache inside our body, we feel depression, but we do not know as to where are we going to go. If we go to our church minister, do we go in a religious body? Do I go to our doctor? And you ask them, I feel a pain in my soul. I feel depression. But the most best psychologist or psychiatrist can do is put you on antidepressant. That's what as far as it can go. But nobody ever takes this spiritual recreational leave when you have the pain within your soul or you have the depression. And there's a different type of depression that actually deals with spirituality. And if your spirituality is in alignment, then this depression disappears. And now we also know that, and I will give you a little bit of, I guess, light into what spirituality is and open a little bit of a door to it. As we know, there are three things, if we are aware of it, that in our lives, that if we could apply that and do those three things and keep them balanced off it, then we most likely will stay away from doctors, psychiatrists, and other specialists who have to deal with, we have those problems within ourselves, within our bodies, with our mind. So what that is, for example, we all have to eat, and whatever you eat, that's a requirement for your stomach, because that's what you need to eat in order to survive. If you do not eat for 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, eventually your body will deteriorate and decay and die. So therefore, body requires food in order to survive. But you cannot feed your body every day, every moment of it junk food. You cannot eat chocolates or candies. You must eat healthy food, because that's what nutritionists tell us in order to survive. We need that, healthy food, for our bodies to be able to live healthy lives. In the same manner, there also is a brain and mind. It also has a food. But the food is not hamburger or spaghetti or any of these things that you eat, but its food is knowledge. And I can refer you to an illustration, some experiment that was done several years out in New York. And I believe this was back in 1985. And this experiment was done on two group of seniors. One group was divided into one room, isolated into one room, and another group was isolated into another room. So one particular group was given books to read, and the other group for 7 days just had to sit idle. And the results was intriguing. After 7 days, they found there was a huge percentage of that particular senior groups that was isolated in a room where they had no books to read and were just sitting idle. They found out that they went into a state of depression, and also it increased their heart rate. They were thinking of that there's no more parents in this life that they can communicate to. They have no more siblings in their lives or close friends in their lives. There's a generation gap. So they went in a state of depression. And they also said this kind of decreased their lifespan. But however, the other group that was isolated in another room, they found out, and the result was very interesting, that they were reading books. They told them to read books for 7 days, that particular senior group, which they did. And the results were very interesting. They discovered that it increased their lifespan, and they also discovered that the food for mind is reading, knowledge. But just like you cannot eat junk food, also you cannot feed just a junk knowledge, not interesting knowledge, useless knowledge to your brain. It has to be intriguing, interactive knowledge, and healthy knowledge for your brain as well. So they discover that's the food for the brain. Now also the scientific world also acknowledges, has discovered that there's another entity in the human being that when it departs, the human beings are considered as dead. And that is the soul in the body. But the scientific world does not know too much about the soul. If we go on Google and search, there's not much tangible evidence that we can put our finger on and find that this leads to or confirms or doesn't confirm the spirituality aspect of it or the soul. But they do acknowledge the soul is within the body. But also, soul also has a food. Its food is not a hamburger. Its food is not a knowledge. But it is the food that it is a remembrance of its creator. Whoever created this soul, it needs to remember that creator continuously. And that's the food of the soul. Now, if you have these three things for your body, for your brain, and for your soul in balance, then you will rarely ever have to go and see your doctor for any problem. You will rarely have to go and see your psychiatrist or psychologist for your mental health. And you will rarely have to go anywhere to seek some kind of treatment for your soul. And that is the knowledge or the food that you require for the soul as well. So these are the three things that if we bring into our lives and have a balance of it, then you certainly will have a healthy life. And that's just the gist of it. Opening a slight bit of door into spirituality. It's full of many other things that you will see that as we go through in great details, what entails the spirituality. That was just a glimpse of what we just have given you, one aspect of spirituality, but there are several different aspects of spirituality. And we will continue to explore that together. Now, also, you understand that you have certain stress in your life, you have kids, or you have financial problems. By the way, spirituality also eliminates financial problems. Whatever type of financial problems you're experiencing presently, when you do get in touch with us, we will show you how spirituality can resolve that problem as well. So there's nothing in your life that spirituality and other aspect of it, our lives, as we combine it together, as I've illustrated one aspect of it, if you have these three things that I mentioned earlier in your lives, how it can balance and impact your lives. So, but there are several other things that we must apply in our lives, how we could have a happy marriage, how can we have a happy relationship with our kids, with our children, how can we have a happy relationship with our parents, with our grandparents, or with our friends and peers, and community at large, society at large. How can we have that? So we also need one other basic aspect of spirituality, and that is fundamental. That is called love. And human beings are given a special tool, and there are many tools other than love that we are given that are inside of human beings, and we rarely have explored those or exploited those to improve or better our lives. And that's what we're here for, to show you how you can do that and explore those hidden tools that we have within ourselves, every human being. But nobody has come out there and taught us. We go to school from kindergarten to university, but nobody has ever shown us that how we can improve and better our lives. But what we do learn when we go to university is two things everywhere in the world that you learn. Either how you're going to become a better consumer, or how you become a better user or producer. So those are the two things that you use. Either you're a better producer, you produce products, or you become end user, and how do you become a best consumer user of their product. Those are mainly two things that are taught in the university. So, but the main theme and the main course of human being that is involved in your life is actually lacks in the university. It's never taught, or is ever really taught elsewhere as well. I get several calls, and I've been interacting with people for the last 30 years, travel around the world and meet people. And when I discuss these things, spiritual aspect of human beings, especially the youngsters, they have benefited so much from it. And whatever walk of life you are, and whichever religion you adhere to, I have met all types of people, and we had this discussion. And when I have shown them how you can exploit those spiritual tools that lie within ourselves, then they understand and comprehend this. So, wow, we weren't aware of this. And that was hidden all our lives. And I spent my life just going through materialism. As you know, right now, there's an onslaught of materialism in this world. Everywhere you go, you're constantly bombarded, whichever channel, television channel you turn on, you go to internet or social media, wherever you are, you're constantly bombarded with materialism. That's all it is. There's an onslaught of materialism. There isn't anywhere who can show you that how can you improve your life. And what is the purpose of life? Why are you here? And that's what we're going to explore. Why are you here? And what little time do we have? We know that there is no guarantee we're going to live to be 100, 80, 60, 20, 40. So don't think that we came on this earth with a certificate in our hand that we know when we're going to die. And we act and behave as a human being as if we are aware of when we're going to die. And we have never ever exploited or explored in terms of what is the purpose of life. And if we go to different institutions, whether it's a church, nursery school, or university, whoever we go to, we get different answers to it. And we never get a one single solid answer as to what is the actual purpose of life. And we will, in this program here, whether it's in this program tonight or the future presentations, we will explore that. What is the purpose of life in great detail? So hold on to your seats and buckle up, because this is going to be an extremely bumpy ride. It will tell us as to what we need and what we require in our lives. And you don't want to miss any of this. There'll be different episodes that we will come up with. And also, but we definitely do need your active participation in this program and this presentation. So you will be the active participant with us as a team working. And you will give us a feedback as to how you benefited some of the things that we have revealed in our presentations on this program. And you also will let us know that if there's anything else that we can add or take away from our presentation. And we definitely are working as a team. And we welcome you aboard this particular presentation and the future presentation of it. And I hope you will enjoy what is to come. And you also must prepare what massive changes once you apply these things in your life, these antidotes in your life. How will it change and impact your life? Be prepared for that, but you must actively participate in it in order to benefit from it. So we invite you to every, I believe it will be either Thursday or some day of the week that will be aired I believe it's on Thursday night. So you will tune to that and be able to watch this program. Also, sometimes the schedules of when this program airs can change without notice, but I'm quite sure the management team will make you well aware of ahead of time as to those programs when they are. But do not miss the schedule. You will be given schedule when this program will air, and take out the time to participate that, because this is your program, your presentation. It is for your family. It is for yourself, how you're going to benefit from it. And we're just here to help you, guide you, and also hold your hand and walk you through as to what is our purpose of life and what is spirituality, and also how it can help others around the globe that may not be aware of these facts that we present to you. So I hope you will enjoy what we have to present to you, and I hope tonight was definitely an eye-opener for you, and hopefully in the future we will travel together. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your participation, and may Almighty be with you. God bless you. Thank you.